Hello, everybody. Welcome to Absolute Obscure with Josh and Rory. I'm Rory.
I'm Josh.
And this is a movie where this is a podcast where we talk about movies that you've never heard of, and we are so excited to be joined by a guest today, the fantastic comedian Randee Neumeyer. Randee, how are you doing today?
Terrible. I had to watch this shitty movie.
She is never going to do this podcast again.
But we have to, because there's clearly going to be a universe set up for this film franchise.
Well, let's get into it. Let's talk about this.
What year did this movie come out?
Okay, so the movie we're talking about today is Dragon, the Weapon of God. This came out in 2022.
Okay, that doesn't make sense because all the fashion is from the 2010s. A woman's wearing owl earrings.
This has I'm sorry, I can't join you on the fashion.
We've never had a fashion segment before. Yeah. This is exciting. Yeah.
This movie has a 1.5 on IMDb with 312 votes. Which is the lowest score we've ever had.
I think it went down since last week when you announced.
Maybe.
I swear it was like 1.7 or something.
And 58 people have seen this on Letterboxd. And I want to ask you guys a question to start this off. At what point, if at any point, did you realize that this movie was a sequel?
It was?
Never.
No, I had no
Absolutely
idea.
never.
Yes, this movie is a sequel to he has another movie in the Bach universe.
Okay.
Which I have written down somewhere in my 8 pages of notes I took for this movie. But
is that how the mayor knew stuff about him? And I was like, how does the mayor know personal details about you?
There was points where I was like, how do anyone know these things? And then I just didn't care to look into it at all. So
it should be noted that not at all. That doesn't explain any of that. The only thing that is explained by this being a sequel is who the Mirror of Death is.
That was a confusing character.
Which is a very confusing character. Who, Randee, do you remember? The prototype.
Yes, the prototype.
The guy that they keep calling the prototype.
Because when they went to China and they're like, we're getting this weapon, and it's just a man. You're like, it's a man with swords? Okay.
Yeah. He can also appear behind people out of nowhere. He does that quite often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I took so many notes.
I'm happy you have lots of notes because you're going to be doing lots of heavy lifting.
This movie, I think, is the funniest movie we've seen for this podcast so far in how bad it is.
Yeah.
This was directed and written by Alexander Bach, who happened to also star as the hero who saves the entire world.
Sure.
What a surprise.
We can't forget that he's an Indian man playing a black man.
He is an Indian man playing a black teenager. I
didn't know he was a teenager. He's bald.
He's like so bald.
He's like 30-something, like at least 30-something.
He's in his mid-40s, easily.
He looks bad.
Oh, yeah.
That's hilarious that he's playing a teenager.
Because at multiple times throughout this movie, he's just like, that was my best friend. I've known him for 3 years. He was 20 years old. I'm just like, what are you talking about?
He goes, he was 22 years old. He loved playing basketball. And he didn't know anything else about him.
That was his best friend.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. Other people we have here, we have Alexis Abrams, who plays Grace, the woman who immediately falls in love with this unemployed teenage black man, Indian man. We have Sean Ian as Foster, the worst bear in the history of the world.
Oh my God.
Who is the most racist human to ever live.
I can't believe they don't have a psych test to become mayor. Like, this guy was unhinged from the very start.
From the very start.
Also, as someone who wears their hair long and likes people with long hair, I don't want a mayor with long hair. That's a big red flag for me.
And it was blue.
Yeah, do you want a bear with long blue hair?
Listen, I'm colorblind. That one didn't even come into play for me. So
yeah, you're colorblind. You need to know that his hair was blue.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it was
no idea.
midnight blue.
Oh, it was too dark for me. It just looked black.
Then we have Medina Penda as Imani, which means faith, by the way.
In Swahili.
It's a very important. It will become her only defining characteristic that her name means faith.
Yeah.
Besides being jealous
Yes.
that Grace gets to kiss
That old teenager, yeah.
that old teenager.
We have Armand Andre as Adrissa. Do you guys even remember who that is?
No.
He is the only other member of the rebel group.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
black
Black Order.
Black Order. That's right.
The-
Yes.
There are only 2 members.
They are terrorizing the city. They are killing so many cops, and there are 2
people.
members. We also have Phil Smirnoff as Mirror of Death, who we've talked about briefly. And I realized when he appeared, because I'm just like, I was bored, so I was kind of looking up people's credits. I'm just like, wait, he's played Mirror of Death twice? How?
That's great. I like how clunky it was to like have 2 swords and
Oh,
try
yeah.
and be
He's
like
just like,
intimidating. He's like, wait, how am I gonna? It's so great.
And then we have Brian Riley as Chris, who was the cop.
Dad cop? Okay.
The dad cop who was constantly fighting between whether he loves his daughter or hates black people
Hey man,
more.
he had allegiance to a racist mayor that he had to uphold.
That is true. Not just a racist mayor, the most racist mayor.
Well, and psychotic.
Yeah.
My daughter! My daughter! They took my daughter!
Oh man, yeah. There were some bad monologues in this movie.
Yeah, they were really bad.
There's a lot of things in this movie. Almost exclusively.
I would say exclusively bad. Yeah, that's fair.
So we start this movie at a press conference with the mayor of New York and a bunch of people reading their scripts off the phones in front of them. Like clearly, like stopping mid-speech to look down at their phones. And he is declaring that he is about to clean the streets of all of the scum. And a guy stands up and is just like, "Do you mean black people?"
Yeah.
And then the mayor's like, "Yes."
I also know. I love. He's like, I love black people. What are you talking about? And he's like, get that guy out of here. He's like immediately escorted out of the room.
None of the reporter people who are all dressed just like we are now.
Yeah.
They don't look like reporters. They don't really push back on the fact that the mayor is straight up declaring, "I am going to get rid of all black people in New York City." And yeah, that is the motive of the mayor. This entire movie, he's like, "I'm going to get rid of all black people or kill them all." And if that's not evil enough, how about we just start with black babies?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. This movie just kept getting darker and darker. It was intense.
But don't worry, we have a teenage middle-aged man who's going to save the entire world. This is what do we think of this press conference? Do you guys even?
Okay, so there was that masked person who came in. Never found out what that
Oh
was.
my god.
And also, everyone, when the lights went off, everyone started screaming before the masked person even showed their face.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you screaming about?
Yeah, because the mayor is just like, we need to stop the Black Order. This is where we get introduced to who the Black Order is, which is the name, which at first we don't know what it is. And I kept being like, this seems very racist, whatever it is. But it turns out that it's basically kind of like a citizens group, kind of like Black Panthers, I think is what they were going for, but more cop killing. They very want to emphasize that everyone is killing everyone. The whole city is at war right now. And then, yes, Black Order infiltrates the press conference, which is taking place. A lot of this movie definitely got shot at, like, the studio, but, like, in the hallways in between the sets.
I loved the imagery of, like, this super nice car driving up slow up the street, and then, like, this... You just see the nice suit, pants, get out, and then, like, the worst mask you've ever seen. It's like a bear mask. I was like, what is this?
Yeah. We don't find out who these two people are. I guess they are the other two members of Black Order. We're up to 4.
Yeah.
And they walk into the meeting and they take one of the reporters hostage.
Yeah. And the thing is, with this movie, so many times where it'd be like, something's about to go down, and then it would cut to the next scene, and they'd be like, wasn't that crazy what just happened? Can you believe that? Hostage situation?
Well, they would cut to the next scene, and then there would be 30 seconds to 5 minutes of slow motion. And then they would start talking about what just happened.
Yeah.
There's so much slow-mo in this movie, and none of it is used in any way, shape, or form.
Just to lengthen the movie runtime, that's about it.
Yeah, but the movie only needed to be 90 minutes.
Yes.
They did have to slow-mo up to 140.
Well, this is later, but they literally didn't have to fight between countries. They didn't need to go from France to Brazil to China.
I rewound this movie so many times because I was like, what is happening here? I had no idea. So lost.
And it's kind of crazy how France, Brazil, and China all kind of just look like New York City.
They do, yeah.
The budget for this thing, out of this world. And after the meeting, because they're also... the mayor, Foster, is being like, I have a secret weapon, and we're going to get it, and we're going to turn the city around. And then he's like, they came after me at my old press conference. I'm going to fucking get them. And it's a big mystery as to what this secret weapon is.
Yeah.
But the next scene that we see him in, he's in China.
Yeah.
He flies to China for a day.
Yeah.
That was another thing. I was like, how quick is the flight to China and turn around? Like, yeah, he's there and back in a jiff.
In a
But
jiff.
then they keep bringing up, they're like, oh, I just went to China.
And not only did he go to China to get the secret weapon, which was also called the prototype, which was also called the Mirror of Death, who is just a guy with swords. But the guy with swords' ability is to teleport.
Right? Why did he go get this guy?
Why didn't he just teleport to New York City? I feel like there's some plot holes in this movie.
There's at least one, for sure.
Yeah. And at this point, we also then get to introduced to Jake, our teenager protagonist, who is a janitor at City Hall.
Yeah.
And he is, I don't know, picking up something from a bench and lightly drops it. And the mayor steps out and is just like, I'm going to fucking fire you. You are scum of the earth, and this is why I want to kill every black man in the city.
Wasn't like didn't a dude just get off the elevator and see like this like a minority guy cleaning up and been like, fuck this guy, and like threw a bottle on the ground in front of him? It was like, you missed something. It was like, what is happening in this town? This is crazy.
And then Grace came in.
Yes.
Which I love that it like also froze him in time. He just like, he was reaching for the bottle and then she like started to, and he was just like, I thought it was like a glitch in the movie or something. It was very strange.
Oh, that must have been, they must have been trying to be like, oh, when I saw her, the world stopped.
That's what it felt like, yes.
So Grace is the son of Chris, who is not like given the title of like police commissioner or anything.
No.
They just keep being like, he's the best police guy.
The best policeman. So many people say that. It's great. And I feel like she even says it multiple times. And anything we see about her dad is like, he seems like a real asshole, actually. I don't know why you're so impressed with this guy.
Yeah, he's a terrible person. Now, quick, let's go to Josh's corner. Josh, was Grace also a porn actress? Because I know you checked.
Well, obviously I looked at it. No, she wasn't.
No, it's just that Josh
running
always
theme
checks.
Yeah, obviously.
What, so you can be like, you can picture her naked while you're
yeah, obviously. Doy.
Because
I am shocked at what a pervert Josh is. Sometimes he'll say something to me and I'll just be like, really?
Well, I mean, I don't know what's so shocking about it anymore. But no, the one that really, I actually got stuck because the first thing I looked up was, I think, an option for one of our podcasts one time.
Yeah.
Because there was a movie called Bruh.mp4,
Oh, yeah, that
which
is...
I'm like, I'm certain I've heard of this movie. And it's only because it was an option.
Yes.
And then so I was like, I'm going to pick that next time it comes up.
That's probably how we got to this one, is that I found this movie through her filmography of some sort, along with bra.mp3.
I just remember laughing about that title for a really long time.
It's very dumb.
Yeah.
Almost as dumb as Dragon, the Weapon of God. So yes, this guy throws out a bottle at, and is just like, you missed the spot, which that's not how that joke works usually.
Right.
The mayor comes out, fires Jake, is so angry. There's another white woman who's just standing there staring at him very angrily too.
Yeah.
That we never see again. I feel like she was a producer who demanded an on-screen role. Also, this scene was very obviously shot in the offices of a film studio because there's just a bunch of posters.
Movie posters,
Movie
right?
posters.
Yeah, there was movie posters everywhere.
They had the same Audrey Hepburn
Yes,
poster that I had in college. I was like, oh, I had that poster.
I loved the scene, like this racist monologue playing out, and it's like, poor Audrey Hepburn's in this scene. It doesn't seem right at all.
And then Jake gets fired and he leaves. And Grace is so mad about it because she's just like, he's not a hoodlum. They say hoodlum a lot in this movie. And hooligans, which is also, did you guys notice that there's no swearing in this movie at all?
Oh, I didn't notice
No,
that.
they always say crap. They always like no swearing at all.
It did feel weird when his best friend was like, that guy's a dirt bag.
Yeah.
Yes, his best friend who was 22 and loved basketball.
And looked so different from the main character because he was actually black.
Because he was actually black. This
yeah.
entire movie, I kept asking myself, is Alex? Because I'm just like, he doesn't look black.
No.
But I'm just like, maybe he's like, maybe I don't know, Josh.
I was really trying to.
You're really good at picking out black people.
Yeah, I try to keep a steady list. No, I would like that's the thing. I was like, maybe he has like one parent that is, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought he was
No.
Thai. I thought he was Thai from his accent
Yeah.
and from his last name. Bob.
That's what I guessed
So,
too. But I don't know. His script suggests that he is the savior of all black people, so I
Yes.
really don't know.
Yeah, he is the savior of all black people, so maybe we shouldn't question it.
Yeah.
So after he gets fired, he goes outside City Hall, and then Grace runs out to meet up with him, is like very apologetic and super, super, super horny. Just the horniest anyone has ever been on screen.
Yeah.
And they agreed. What did you think of this meet cute? Did it work for you?
I can't remember. Did they go out right after that, or did they meet up later?
So the time frame of this movie does not make a lot of sense.
Not at all.
Because I'm pretty sure this entire movie takes place over the course of 2 days.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And like everyone at City Hall has heard about Grace's new boyfriend that she's in love with. It's like,
Yeah.
this is insane.
They go on that date, and then what is it, like 12 hours later? She's like, "'Cause you're my boyfriend."
Yes. And I love you like I've never loved anyone before.
Yeah.
My favorite part with that whole interaction is like, so when she runs outside to like meet him, she's basically like, I'm really sorry that everyone in there was mean to you. I can't believe they treat you like that. And then when they go on the date, she's like, why didn't you stick up for yourself the other day?
Oh, she asked that outside City Hall, and then she asks it on the date again.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
This is where I have in my notes that I did finally look at Alexander Bach's IMDb page. He did have one piece of trivia, which I want to read for you, which was, he is a very, very humble man who never brags about anything. Not even modestly.
Well, that's good. You can't take that away from him.
No, yeah. And I'm just like, oh, we have a certifiably insane person
Yeah.
making this movie. But yes, they agree to go on a date. It's a very, very awkward meet cute because he tries to write cute dialogue, and it does not work.
Also, Kate, was there some? This is like one of the first cuts that really threw me off. He's like, the scene outside where they're like, "I'll pick up the bottle, whatever," and then all of a sudden, he's like talking to the girl, and then he's just like on the floor getting like beat up. Would this happen? I was honestly, I'm not sure if the version I found was like really cut up or something. It was crazy.
I mean, I'm trying to remember him being beat up in that
Beat
scene.
up? What
like
scene?
like right at the beginning, like the mayor like got him, like as he was firing on me, like kind of got on top of him and punched him a couple times. It was really bizarre.
That makes sense.
And because they were like all of a sudden in a bathroom, and I was like, what's happening right
They're
now?
in a bathroom.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember
Or
that.
he got pushed into like a chair or something. It was very strange.
Maybe they did get. Listen, there's a lot of very strange things happening in this movie, so I can't remember that. But I got pushed out by all the strangeness yet to come.
Yes.
So
There's a lot.
there's so much. After Grace and Jake decide to go on a date and be boyfriend and girlfriend and fall in love with each other forever and ever, we do get a scene between Chris and the mayor where the mayor basically restates his intention to kill every black person. He's really in on this plan.
And at this point, the cop, no red flags about. He's like, okay, let's see where you're going with this. Like, no qualms about it at all.
None at all. And he kind of doesn't have any qualms about for, I don't know, 95% of the movie.
Yeah.
That's very true.
And we also get introduced because the mayor has a picture on his desk that he doesn't let anyone else see. So obviously that's going to be an important part of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to explain his entire motives, and then we'll understand his point of view as to why he wants to kill every black person.
Then it's okay.
Yeah.
Then he's killing black people.
Clip it. Then we get we finally meet Miles, who is the 22-year-old best friend of Jake, who likes basketball. He's just standing on a street corner, and they film it on the street corner. He's just like, "Oh, you lost your job? That sucks, man."
Well, first he's like, "You get pussy."
Yes. Yeah. Oh wait, he asked. Yeah. Oh, you're going on this date.
Yeah.
I think he said you get
No,
laid.
that's the second time
that's
that we
after.
see
Oh,
Miles.
Yeah.
okay.
Yes. That's the saddest part of the movie. So we'll get to yeah. That's the tragic origin story of Dragon.
Oh my god.
But yeah, we meet Miles. He's basically just like, "Oh, yeah, you got a date. Oh, you lost your job." Basically, we meet Miles so that when he eventually, spoiler alert, gets shot to death by a cop, the next time we see him, we understand why we should care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so off on this character because when he got introduced, I was like, I bet this was the guy in the mask that's part of the Black Order. I was like, oh no, he got murdered pretty quickly after that. Okay.
Yes. So now we have the date, which involves them frolicking around in the middle of the street a lot, mostly in slow motion, as they do. Sitting on stoops and pretending to laugh at each other. And that's the perfect first date, right? Just frolicking and laughing on stoops.
Yep.
They do go for pizza, and we meet the Black Order. The leader of the Black Order, who was, what's her name again? Amani, Faith.
Yeah. I call her Faith, yeah.
Her name means Faith. So she comes up, and she knows Jake already,
Yes.
and knows that he got fired from the city hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She knows everything about him.
She knows everything about him.
Yeah.
And is just like, "You have an in. We could use you for the Black Order."
Yeah, we need a third person.
Hey, he would be the fifth. Remember, there was the guy in the mask and the guy in the car that we never see again.
Pretty public about it, though.
They're-
Like, if you're the Order, you should be in hiding.
Yeah.
You would think
I
so. You would
so.
think that later on in the movie, when they find their secret organization, it might be a little hard to get into inside. Not the case.
No.
So basically, Jake is just like, "No, you guys kill cops. That's bad." Because he's an enlightened centrist
Yes.
in this world, where he's just like, "I don't want black people or cops
that's
to be
right.
killed." His opinion changes later on. Should be noted. But after this weird bad date, they're so horny for each other. They're not going to kiss, of course, because if you can't curse, you can't have sex either.
Right.
This feels somewhat Christian coded in that way, but not super Christian code, because there's also superpowers. So, I mean, that's also Christian coded in a way.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. Yeah, like high morality, like no, do nothing bad in the world.
Exactly.
All the time. No sinning.
No sinning. No sinning.
Unless you're gonna beat the fuck out of somebody with your dragon powers.
Then we do see finally Foster is in China. He goes to China.
Yep.
He gets the prototype.
He zips over there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 30 seconds in China. Looks a lot like New York City. I kind of wish they did spend the money.
And he was a bitch about it.
And
He was being mean to them.
I believe he says the line, keep your dirty tongue in your goddamn mouth. Which, I mean, goddamn, that's the closest thing to a swear.
Yeah.
So that proves that Foster is the bad guy.
I was going to say that's how you know he's a bad guy.
Yeah. And then finally we get the scene where Miles meets up with Jake after their date. And then a cop appears out of somewhere and just shoots Miles. Yeah, he's just like, hey, I could kill you and no one would care.
Yeah, and then they start to run away and he shoots him in the back.
He shoots him in the back while he's in the middle of the street, and then we cut back and he's dying on the street corner because they couldn't film in the middle of the street.
And Jake, God love him, but he cannot muster up the strength to pull off my friend just got shot in front of me.
Oh, no. When he cries, he just closes his eyes and he goes,
To be fair, he was directing too, so he had a lot. He had a lot on his mind.
That's right.
You know, it's hard to get in that space.
He was spinning a lot of plates. Yeah.
Yeah. So Miles dies, and the cop is just standing there with a gun out. The cop, I'm pretty sure, not actually in the same space as Miles and Jake were, because they just cut to him and he's by himself in front of a park.
They shot two sides. You think that could be?
And then we see a comic book start flipping.
Just a random comic.
I was like, has there been comics in this movie up until this point at all? I was so confused.
No, and it says a Bach production on the comic book.
Nice.
And it says number 2, which was my thing being like, that's strange that it says number 2. But I did pick up later that, it's because this is a sequel. And also, I say that a comic is flipping. There isn't more than one page. It's just the front cover of the comic, and it's fluttering a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Jake gets his powers. He awakens as the dragon, and he shoots the cop with like flame lightning. And that's the entire special effects budget of the entire movie.
Oh yeah, and then 2 random people show up to help him, and then they never come back.
It's like an older man a robe.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember this now because I was like, the worst actor in the world and the only actor who made me laugh in the movie showed up to tell him his powers or whatever.
Yes.
But yeah, just he's like giving him a rundown of like, it felt like he was the one that I was like, this guy is reading off someone holding the notes in front of him because he was like making direct eye contact with the camera the whole time.
Yeah, the girl though, I was like, I think she could actually act.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, because he's going on in this monologue, and she's like, he's gone, and then you like pan to his side, and like Jake's run off or whatever, and I was like, that was the best laugh of the movie right there. Got good timing.
The old white guy reads his lines like, this happened. Once in a day, I mean at night. It is night now. Wow, what are the odds of this happening?
Yeah, no, he was terrible. I was actually pretty happy. I was happy he never came back, but I was sad because I liked the girl as well. I thought she was good. And
it did make me... Now I have to assume that they are in the first movie.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing that made me wonder if this was a universe, because they're basically like Avengers being like, we're assembling a team that's going to save the universe. And I was like, oh, God, not another movie that's trying to branch off.
The Bach universe. So Jake, he shoots lightning, and then he doesn't have a shirt on anymore.
He's got a dragon tattoo.
And I love, again, bless him, but not intimidating with the shirt off.
This man didn't even think to hit the gym for this scene.
Yeah, he's maybe got like the least impressive body. It's like he's like skinny and kind of flubby at the same time. It's like oh no.
And then he runs away because he's scared. And he, of course, where are you gonna go? You're gonna go to your new girlfriend's house.
Yeah.
You're going to break into her house, which is also the police commissioner's house. And he's just going to appear without a shirt in her room.
Oh, and his hair was out.
His hair was my favorite at this point.
Dude.
The grossest, very gross hair.
He's just not an attractive man. I'm sorry, Bach.
Now, to be fair, he was a teenager, so we can give him
That's right. He's in his awkward phase.
Yeah. It's probably good you did find this teenager heart, Randy.
That's true.
Yeah, we have another movie that we watched, and unfortunately, it also has a lot of women playing teenagers.
Oh,
I'm just
Jesus.
like, this is gross now. But so yeah, he breaks into Grace's apartment. They don't ever say you broke into an apartment. She's just like, oh, you're here now. Why?
This is another moment where he's like, I just had the craziest day, and then it like cuts to him after explaining. She's like, that is a crazy day. It's like, oh my god.
She's very accepting of him having magic powers now.
Yeah, it's just not. Yeah. Also, it's kind of like, oh, I'm sort of sorry your friend's dead. Like they brush it off really quickly
They
again.
brush it off.
Yeah.
He's over it.
Yeah, well, he's not over it. He does bring it up at the climax of the movie.
Yes.
It's pretty important that Miles and Grace so he basically is just like, oh, I have to join the Black Order now. Cops have gone too far now that it's affected my life personally. Mm-hmm. Now I believe that they should all be killed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she is just like, I guess I'll join the Black Order too.
That was my favorite thing, is this little white girl being like, I'll join too. And he's like, okay. Let's go to the meeting. And they're like, can we join? They're like, no.
So, yes, now we get the scene of them joining the Black Order, which is them walking up to a
door in an alley.
quote-unquote secret base, which is a door in an alley with one guy standing in front of it. And we get to see Jake's other power, which is apparently he is super strong now. Does he use that ever again?
Oh, yeah. He like punches the guy over the balcony. Mm-hmm. And then just the guy's like, oh, okay. Actually, you know what? Yeah, come in and have a chat with us and maybe we'll let you in. Well, very strange.
They show up and she's just like, oh, maybe this isn't a good idea. I'm just like, it's been 5 hours since you had the conversation of joining.
Yeah.
And yeah, the guy in the front who is the other member, Idrissa, he is just like, oh, you want to join? We'll pat you down kind of thing to make sure. And then because he's patting down the girl, Grace, Jake is just like, oh, don't you dare touch her like that. But I rewound like 3 times being like, did he do anything inappropriate for someone just patting down someone?
Yeah, because that's what I thought it was. I was like, oh, he's going to give her like a gross pat down. But it seemed very above, like same as his.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Like, don't touch her. I was like, okay.
And then they get in a fight and Jake now has superpowers, so he punched him. I will say, I keep saying Jake has superpowers. We don't see those ever again.
We see him
fight.
He swings punches, and then you see on another camera someone go flying.
Yes.
And that's about it.
You mean like when he was punching the mayor and the mayor didn't even react or have any facial wounds?
Alexander Bong has never done any sort of martial arts training at all.
I am stunned.
No.
Like, he's never thrown a punch before until he did this movie.
Yeah, no, it was the fight choreography. It doesn't even feel like you can call it that because it's just 2 guys waving their arms around.
Yeah, it's very bad. So after he beats up Idrissa for touching Grace inappropriately, even though he didn't do that, they're now in the Black Order. They're talking with Amani. Her name means faith. And she's basically just like, okay, I guess you guys are in.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
I love the top-down scene of a shot of like a group called the Black Order, and then just like one fist coming in, one fist coming in, one fist, and then this little white girl's hand, like, yay! It's like, oh my god.
If like Alexander Brock was capable of self-awareness, that would feel like a joke.
Yes,
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
it was.
I don't think it was.
No.
Now they're just like, oh well, how do we? There's going to be a secret meeting, or the Black Order keeps being like, it's a secret meeting, and then Grace is just like, oh, that's the annual gala that happens
Yeah.
every single year. My dad's going to it. I know all about it. We can go.
Yeah.
So not a secret meeting, just a
dinner.
Dinner.
Well, I thought it was going to be a gala, but it is not a gala. It is a single table in like the corner of not a room.
Yes.
I was going to say a restaurant. No.
No. I couldn't pay to close off a restaurant for this.
So Grace and Jake decide to go to this thing to get information about the prototype. In the car on the way there, they're dressed nicely. He's wearing the ugliest fucking sweater I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It's like furry
Yeah, I don't.
brown leather.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Looks really. Do you remember this at all?
No.
She's in like this gown.
This is when I started playing solitaire because I was like, this fucking bullshit. So I heard a lot, but
Did you hear how the members of the Black Order, the militia group, were now teasing them about being boyfriend and girlfriend?
oh yeah.
And they're like, yeah. Oh man, she's gonna friend zone you so
Yeah.
hard. And he's like, stop talking about being friend zoned. And then,
It's so dumb. The
Yeah.
dad sees him, and he's like, "What the heck?"
and no one at this dinner can believe that she had the audacity to go out with this apparently black man.
Apparently, black teenager.
And she's like you said, it's been what, 2 days since it, and she's like, I'm in love with him. It's like, what is happening?
I think it's the next day.
Yeah, it's the next day.
Not only do I think it's the next day, but also the mayor is just like, this guy looks familiar to me.
You beat him up and sent him packing the other day.
That makes sense. He can't tell black people apart,
Yeah.
especially when they're Indian.
I also love how they are openly talking about killing all the black people at this meeting, and there is one black person at the table.
Yes. Yeah, there was. Yeah, and everyone's kind of, not one person raised their hand like, I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Or, no, they're just like, oh, interesting.
Yes, they're all just like, yeah, it makes sense to me. It definitely felt like he could not get enough just white extras, so he had to get one black person.
Also, there was a line, I think it was when they were like going to the meeting, because she's like, oh, I'm excited to introduce you to my dad, who's like, he didn't realize he was going to hate him, but okay. But then he's like, oh, it's going to be the first time I've seen him since the humiliation.
Right.
It's like, oh my God. This guy has some issues.
Since the humiliation, which again was yesterday. I also love how the mayor openly talking about genociding people never has security, never has anyone. No, they couldn't afford to hire people to be pretend security.
Yeah.
I like how there's exactly 2 scenes where they could afford extras in this movie, which was the opening scene of the press conference and then this gala. And then otherwise you never see another person on screen, basically. So at this gala, I keep calling it a gala because I have it, scene 12, the gala. Yes, he meets the father, who is so angry that this black man is dating his daughter. Also doesn't recognize him from yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah, they all act like they've never seen him before.
And then he gets Jake gets angry enough that he just walks away, and then he walks back 12 seconds later, and starts fighting everyone. And we don't know why. It's never said why he's now fighting all of them. But it is again the worst choreographed fight I think I've ever seen on film.
Yeah. Also, I think this must have happened during the dinner, but it was like, I don't know if it was their dad or the mayor, but he's just like, oh, how are the blacks doing?
I literally had that line next.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah. They do
And like
like
you said, this is just an open dinner with so many people there.
Yeah, and he also mentions to the mayor here, like, this is where he liked basketball. He was 22 and he liked basketball, which is the only two things he says about his best friend who was killed again yesterday, where he's just like, he was 22, he liked basketball, and that's why I have to kill the cops.
Yes.
So he fights everyone, he beats everyone up, and kidnaps the mayor.
Right. Yeah, it went instantly from like, I love how quick it was like, we can't hurt anybody.
Yes.
And then like, oh, I'm going to torture this mayor real quick, though. Very strange.
Yeah. We cut now to the mayor's tied up.
Mm-hmm.
Getting punched.
Getting punched.
Repeatedly. Not reacting. Just sitting there.
Laughing off.
Stoically. Like he's a demon or something who can't be hurt.
Honestly, yes. It felt like he was like a meth head or something that couldn't be hurt by anything. It was crazy.
I thought that there was going to be a reveal that maybe he also has superpowers.
That would have made sense.
Yeah.
No, he just didn't feel pain.
No, he just doesn't feel pain. I mean, to be fair, these punches were so weak that they didn't leave a mark on his face, getting punched repeatedly in the face.
They obviously couldn't hire a makeup person.
No.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I think this film was made by 3 people.
Yeah.
Just constantly running and turning the camera on and filming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And is it now that we find out his motivation, if you want to call it that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, he's like, a black man killed my daughter. That's it.
That's it.
I was going to say, does he ever, no context further than that, right?
No.
And like, I love how often it comes up when they're like, how would your 6-year-old daughter feel if you were just killing people? And he's like, that blows by that question.
No, I
don't like to think about that.
No, exactly. So basically, yeah, that's his whole motivation for, again, genociding every black person in New York City. A black person killed my daughter. Seems a little silly, but also, how did he get elected mayor? I feel like some of this was in his campaign trail. Like he's not very secretive about
I know.
it.
I don't think it came out of nowhere.
No. And then he, of course, says, "This was my plan all along."
Yes,
to get captured.
Yeah, because now the mirror
Randy's
man,
realizing this as we talk about it.
the mirror man comes and he saves him.
And then he's like,
Yeah, that's when he does his 2 swords like around the guy's throat, and he's like kind of like, I don't know how to do this.
and then he kills what's his name?
Adrissa.
Yeah. He's dead.
So basically, we now get to introduced to the Mirror of Death, who this entire time I've been like, what is this weapon? Turns out again, it's a guy who can teleport and has 2 swords. Which I can't help but feel that would take still a very long time to kill every black person in New York City.
I thought it was gonna be something like we'll poison the water with
I
a
know,
special
right?
chemical that only kills black people.
I have.
You know, something like that.
No, just a man with swords. And I was thinking the same thing. It's like, he's going to go through every person with just some swords? All right.
And he's a mortal man. We find out he does die. So, spoiler, he gets decapitated.
Oh, damn. No third movie.
No third movie.
Oh, there'll be a third movie.
So yes, the Mirror Death appears, which, calling him the Mirror Death also, terrible name for a character.
Yeah.
Worst name we've come across so far. He kills Adressa, and Jake is just like, no, Amani, we have to run. We are not safe here. And she's like, no, everyone's going to die. And I'm just like, there's no other people in your organization. That's the only other one. But they do escape.
Yeah.
And then the Mirror of Death lets the mayor go, and they go over his plan again, where he's just like, now you're going to kill every black baby in the city.
Yeah. Also, I love the mayor just shows up the next day for work after getting kidnapped.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, hey, good to see you. No one brings it up.
The only time it does get brought up by anybody is now we have a scene with Chris and Grace where he's so mad at her, and he's like, you brought the man who kidnapped the mayor to the gala.
Yeah.
How dare you? And she's like, I love him.
Mom would be so disappointed in you.
He was so fucking pissed when she said that.
Yeah.
It was great.
Oh my god. And he's also like, you destroyed my reputation. I'm like, there were 12 people at that dinner.
Yeah.
Max.
Also, a kidnapping happened. No one seemed to care. I don't
Yeah.
think anyone's going to take home anything from this.
So yes, now the mayor again restates his plan. It's specifically to kill all the black people, kill all the black babies.
Yeah.
And he's like, he gets his assistant to be like, get me the registry of all the black babies.
So there was a thing where I was like kind of like confused about the mirror of death was the weapon they brought back.
Yeah.
And so I was like, wait, did they go to China to get a list of all the black babies born in New York? I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And then I was like, oh, right, it was the man with swords.
Yes. And now, he's also, Chris comes in and the mayor is just like, we have to make sacrifices. Everyone's got to make sacrifices. And I'm pretty sure he was improvising and forgetting his lines here because he keeps saying sacrifices like 20 times.
I mean, that would make sense, especially with Buddy just continually being like he's 22 and loves basketball.
Yes.
I think a lot of people might have done that in this movie.
And then he keeps being like, you are going to have to use Grace to get Jake to come in, and then we're going to kill Grace. He basically tells Chris, I'm going to kill your daughter. And Chris is like, do I love my daughter or more than I hate black people? This is what he really starts questioning.
Yeah.
I don't know about this mayor anymore.
Now we have a scene with Amani and Jake staring out at a park where he's just like, we can't give up. We have to stand tall. And Amani kisses Jake.
Yes.
Because Jake is so sexy. We gotta have him.
Jake is so sexy. He's definitely not very balding. He's not balding at all.
And then of course Grace sees.
And runs away before Jake can explain what happened.
Except he does just follow her into the next scene. And
Yes.
like, oh, hey, very happy I caught up with you finally.
Finally. I know that you were only 3 steps away from me, but I finally caught up
Took
to
me
you.
to your house.
Oh yeah, in her apartment with the dad there.
Yeah, the dad's there again. Yep.
And it should be noted that Jake is just like, I can't kiss you, Amani. I'm in love with Grace. But again, Grace did hear that part. So yeah, he chases her to her apartment. Again, just kind of walks into her apartment. And they have a big conversation. And then it's revealed that Chris was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Like in the next room. And he's like, get the fuck out.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
And he does he punch out the dad here too?
Yes, he does. Because the dad's just like, oh, you're coming with me. Because he's been tasked by the mayor to bring him in.
That's right.
And then he's just like, I'm not coming with you, sir. Punches him.
Dragon punch. And like drags him. Does that happen right away where he grabs that cop and like streams the thing?
So this is the next scene where the mayor is just like, okay, time to kill all the babies. And then Jake is sitting defeated on a stoop.
Minding his own business.
And then a guy comes up to him and he's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm a cop. And Jake's like, you're a cop? And then
starts beating the shit out of him, grabs him from around the throat and has like a phone and he's like streaming like, oh, hey, Mayor, I know you're watching this random video that I'm posting.
Yeah.
And then, it's true. He cuts to the mayor on the computer like, yeah, I am watching this.
And a girl's like, it's gone viral.
Yeah, and they're like,
He literally posted it 3 minutes ago.
he's like, yeah, come meet me at this street or whatever. Oh my God, so stupid.
So many movies that we've watched for this podcast have the moment where someone goes viral. They love the idea of going viral.
Yeah.
Also, I love with this cop. There's a second cop that I noticed where it's like, oh, they couldn't even afford fake badges for any of these people because even the one that shoots his friend is like, I'm a cop, and he like barely opens his coat so he can't. He's like flash, and you don't even see.
I forgot about that. Yeah, he opens his coat and there's isn't anything
badge.
there.
No badge whatsoever. And yeah, this guy, like you said, he's in like sweats and a coat. It's like, what kind of cop is this?
I also like how they've decided to start calling him his nickname, which is Dragon. Like at various times they're just like, "Oh, Dragon," and I'm just like, "When did you learn his name was
nickname,
Dragon?"
yeah.
He never says it. Anyway, so he has this cop hostage, and the mirror of death appears because he can, and then Jake lets the cop go, and they're just like, "Okay, I guess we're doing this."
Yep.
And then we get the epic.
It is epic.
It's epic. We get the epic fight scene where they're traveling all over the world that Randee likes so much.
I looked up. It said France. I was like, what?
This one, I literally around this fight scene like so many times. I was like, I don't understand what's happening. They were like, because it was like, yeah, they were just teleporting, I guess, and fighting all over the world. That was his version of like, oh, this is my kind of, you're in my domain now, right?
Yes, it felt a little bit like I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z since I was a kid, but I feel like that's something that they could do in that, or like another anime I watched. It felt like this was anime inspired, where they teleport to another thing and they're taking their fight stances.
Right. Like Mortal Kombat, where you throw a guy through the ground and be in a different
thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And they have again
Nothing changed.
nothing changed. They're just in various places all over New York City with people filming them film, because it's very obvious that the tourists are just like, oh, isn't it cool that they're filming a movie over here? They fight in different places. They go to France, they go to Brazil, they go to China, and in China, Jake finally decides to use his powers.
Yeah, he's the whole time he's like narrating it in his head, and he's just constantly, all he's saying is, I can't use my powers here. And then, like you said, he just out of nowhere is like, wait a minute, yes I can, and kicks him, and then charges up. Yeah, he kicks him once. They both stand up, and he charges up and lightning punches him.
And decapitates him.
Yes, it's over.
Turns the Mirror of Death's head into a literal flaming skull, which shoots out and then blood spurts out.
I missed that part. I was just like, oh, I guess he's dead.
And then he teleports back to New York, because that happened in China, and I guess Jake somehow decides, oh yeah, I guess I can teleport too.
Yeah, once you kill the Mirror Man, you get his powers.
You get his powers. You're never going to use them again.
Obviously not. You're going to get someone to come pick you up from China.
Yes. Well, this is happening. We cut to Chris and Grace getting into the car, and they're just sitting there for a while. And then Amani shows up and is just like, you can't go with him. We have to stay together. And at this point, Chris is just like, oh, no, I was going to take her to the bear. And Grace is like, wait, what were you going to do? That's where we were going?
Yeah. So Amani, does she show up at this point? And
yes.
She does the whole, hey, you left just before Jake said this to me, but he's in love with you.
Yeah, love really need this this not three-way, thruple. Really need this romantic subplot to
Yeah.
Well, I love that this is what brings the dad around. He's like, wait, he loves my daughter? Oh my God, I can't be killing all these black people. That'd be crazy.
I can't have the mayor kill my daughter. And she's like, wait, what? And now we get a reveal of how the wife died, because that's now important for some reason.
Yeah.
Drove off a cliff.
Yes. Basically, he's just like, oh, yeah, no, I saw a suspect while we were on vacation, and I needed to go after him, and I went too fast. I drove off a cliff. And I'm just like, you drove off a cliff in New York? and then Grace is just like, I know.
I've heard it so many times.
I Googled it.
Which made me wonder, like, how did you think the wife your mother had died?
Yeah, Dad just comes home one day. He's like, don't ask. It's gone.
So now Chris is fully on board with, that's all it took for him to decide, I guess I'm a good guy now. We go to, wait, Did they have Jake at this point?
Um,
Yes, the mayor somehow is Jake. Because I have my next one is the breakout, which they were breaking Jake out. I don't know.
Oh, I think did he go to the mayor and then I think got jumped and then like they tied him up or something like that happened?
We'll say sure. I can't remember. There's so much happening in this movie, guys. So yes. No, they decide they are going to break Jake out. He is in a closet. He's in the storage closet, which is the only place left in the studio that they hadn't used as a film location yet. I also love how they have multiple times in this movie where they stumble over each other's lines.
Yes.
But they just keep it in. They're just like, that's the best take that we're going to get.
We're not doing another take. Just use it.
Also, the reason we keep mentioning that Amani's name means faith is because at various times in this movie, they ask, do you believe in faith?
Yeah.
And every time I was just like, fate. They mean fate. That's not what the word faith means.
Yeah, faith is like you believe it's, yeah, that's hilarious. I never even clocked it till right now.
They keep being like, oh, faith brought you here. I'm just like, no, it's fate. It's fate and destiny. Those are the words. But it was only so that the reveal of her name means
That's
faith.
Funny. Maybe he just has a lisp and he says it wrong.
This guy doesn't let anyone edit his scripts.
No. I did get so much Tommy Wiseau vibes from this movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
Like big time.
Like, I think, I'll say it now, I do think if you like bad movies, you will love this movie.
Probably.
This is a very funny, dumb, bad movie. But they're breaking him out. Mir appears as, wait.
No, the Angel of Death probably. Is that who you mean? Or
oh yeah, right. There's another character.
there's another character that randomly comes up
named the Angel of Death.
yeah.
Who can also teleport.
Yeah, I think so. I was like, where'd this guy come from?
Oh, that was this. The girl was like, he's almost here.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But there's also. Did we talk about what happened to Grace yet?
No, this is when that happens.
Okay.
I think that we talked about the Mirror of Death fight scene happens now.
Right. That's you know what. Actually, I think it happens. It splices. It keeps going back and forth, does it not?
Maybe no. I'm pretty sure they go to break out Jake. I think the Mirror of Death took him hostage from the cop. Now they go to break him out, and now they're doing the teleporting back and forth because I have it in this section of my notes. He fucking decapitates him. This must be where that fight happens.
Okay. Yeah.
So I apologize. I'm sorry. People really love that we're going beat by beat in this movie, and we messed it up. But while that fight scene is happening, the Angel of Death appears, which is just another character who.
Which also he's a black guy.
He is a black guy.
Who's in on the plan of killing all the black people. It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. And also, gotta be honest, don't remember what happens to him. I think he's in the scene and then he's not in the movie anymore.
I think all the people who were like, we're New York minorities.
Yeah, there was a scene where
and we'll stick up for
minorities
our
of
city.
every like creed and culture, they all came to band together.
Yeah.
And then the mayor's just like, all right, Angel Death, take him out. And then he just kicks 4 of them in the face, and they're like, ow! And they just go home.
Yeah, that was he watched the scene from Spider-Man 2 where all of the New Yorkers stand up to Dr. Octopus on the subway.
Yeah.
And he's just like, that's what this scene is going to be. People are going to remember this.
Yeah, except it would have been better in that scene if Doc Ock just kicked a whole bunch of them in the face and they look like, okay, sorry, we won't get involved.
So after Jake and Mirror of Death are having their fight scene, which eventually leads to the Mirror of Death getting decapitated, Angel of Death appears and just kills Grace. Just kills the fuck out of Grace.
The mayor kills Grace.
Yeah,
Right, the mayor kills Grace.
He at the same spot where they were talking, like where Imani like revealed like, oh no, he loves you or whatever. The mayor comes and like for some reason Imani like hides in a room. And then he confronts Grace and is like, I can't believe you love that 18-year-old or whatever the fuck. And then he just gets so close and creepy to her. And then he just eventually stabs her after.
Yeah. And Chris isn't there. I don't remember where Chris...
he's not. Chris isn't there because
Actually, he did the best acting of
The movie?
Of the movie
That could
for sadness.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he kills poor Grace, and then which is also because the dad's like on his side, kind of like still not fully turned yet.
Yeah.
Like I think he would have maybe tried to talk him down at this point.
Yes, yeah.
And and then so Amani's hiding still, and then comes out and it's like, you don't want to go in that room. It's not good.
It's not
I was really hoping I could get out there before you got back. And then Chris is just like, my girl, Grace, Grace.
Yeah, he cries. He's very sad.
It's very sad. Who did this? And it was the mayor.
Who do you think? The psychopath who's trying to murder
why
everybody.
Bring her there when he knew he wanted to murder her. Stupid.
We're getting close to this movie being done. Now we get introduced to the Angel of Death after the killing. We went through that scene of him appearing.
With more, yeah.
And all the people are like, yeah, we're standing up.
Yeah. He kicks them all. It's great.
It's great. And then we don't see the Angel of Death again after that.
I don't really remember him, honestly. I don't have anything in my notes.
Do the New Yorkers overpower him?
That could be.
I thought they beat him up or something.
They might have.
My notes get so vague at this point. I have one part here that just says longest back and forth ever, and I don't even know what conversation that's referring to. I think
The end.
it's the final confrontation with the mayor and what's his face?
Yes, so we cut to, it's now daytime for some reason, in the middle of the day, and it's finally, Jake is confronting Foster, the mayor, and he's just like, he finds out he killed Grace,
Yes.
and he keeps being like, he's trying so hard to cry. He's
And
like,
if you thought his acting was bad when his best friend
my
died,
God.
oh man, he cannot muster it up for the girl he loved.
Grace, Grace and Miles, Grace and Miles, Grace and Miles. And at one point, it cuts to a close-up of the mayor, and you can see Jake walks into the frame and leans in on him, and the actor looks so angry. He looks legitimately mad that this is happening. It is so funny. And they keep going back. Yeah, this is the longest thing. They just keep going back and forth, saying the same thing over and over again.
They keep going over my daughter died, and he's like, how would she feel if you killed everyone? And they're like, stop bringing that up. I don't care.
But my daughter died. And he's just like, but you killed Grace. But my daughter died.
He almost changes his opinion. The mayor. It's like, no, he can't change his opinion. He wants to kill black babies. His opinion can't be changed.
Past rehabilitation.
Yeah.
I don't think we want this character to be rehabilitated.
No.
But because Dragon is the moral superior person, he's not the one who kills the mayor.
Yeah.
Chris comes up with a gun and shoots the mayor, which I kept thinking throughout most of this movie. A gun could fix most of the problems. The guy who teleports but has swords? Yeah, shoot him. He's not that strong.
Yeah, I have Grace's dad shoots him. Thank you for ending this scene. And also, no blood. They couldn't afford any blood on the t-shirt. No. He's in a plain white dress shirt. No blood whatsoever.
Yeah. And no one cares that the mayor just got shot in the middle of New York. We just cut to the next scene. And the next scene is Chris, Amani, and Dragon standing by a lake being like, oh, wild times.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. What are we all going to do now?
Oh, that was so dumb. What are you going to do now, Amani? What? God.
Yeah. Well, they had to set up the franchise. We've been over this.
We have the craziest line, I think, of the movie so far, which is Amani says, I may need a brother. And then Chris says, and I may need a son. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? And then
he needs a daughter.
His daughter just died. You've known this guy for 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they loved each other so much that he was eventually going to be his son-in-law.
That's true.
So he's just closing that.
Yeah, he's just adopting this 18-year-old, 38-year-old man.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna be a team. You guys need nicknames.
And we cut to a guy, just. It was a cop who's just like, oh, I'm gonna kill. Just because the mayor is dead doesn't mean I can't kill black people.
Yeah, someone had to keep up the mantle of killing all the minorities.
Yes, and then doing the worst, like, there's multiple times in this where they try to do the superhero landing.
Yeah.
But it's very obviously they just jumped like 2 feet in the air.
Do you remember when Dragon was like on that corner crouching?
Oh,
he was in like a Black Widow pose, and he was wearing the ugliest jacket.
Yeah, that was the same jacket.
Pants.
That was the same jacket from the dinner that he wore.
God.
And yeah, it seemed very Spider-Man-esque.
He was wearing blue tights.
Yes, I swear they just ripped off a Spider-Man costume. And he, that was after the fight scene where they were like warping all over the world.
Yes, right.
He took a moment to, I don't know, pose on a fire hydrant or whatever he was doing.
Right, he was on a fire hydrant and then he tries to jump off of it.
Yeah.
But it's legit. I think it's 3 feet off the ground, not even, and it's very unimpressive. But it's Amani who's like, my name is Faith.
Yeah.
And it's Chris. And what the fuck did
he went with Justice.
Oh, Justice, because he keeps talking about fucking Justice.
As soon as he was, I was like, oh, his fucking name's going to be Justice.
What does he say? He goes, I've dedicated my whole life to justice.
It's like you were actively in a plan to murder every black baby in the town. What are you talking about?
And yeah, they're a team now, and they go to beat up this dirty cop who has a gun. So he's going to win. He's going to shoot the 3 of them and walk away.
And we get the worst like freeze frame ending I've ever seen.
Yes.
Where like the main guy jumps out of frame. He's like above it. It's like,
and that's Dragon the way.
Yeah.
So what do we think? Randee, are you so happy to have been on?
I think some men shouldn't be allowed to go to film school.
You think this guy went to film school?
Hey, I went to film school and there were a lot of people like this guy there.
Oh my god.
oh man.
Josh?
Yeah, no, I hated it. It was terrible. I mean, yeah, whatever. It was bad, but
I think the saving grace is it wasn't super boring.
They didn't save Grace.
That's true. Grace smiles, gets killed.
yeah.
We've watched more boring films.
Yeah, that's true.
This
was
is
like
bad in a funny way.
I kind of agree with you, like what you're saying. Like I would never like watching it alone is terrible.
Yes.
Watching it with a group of friends would probably be super funny.
And talking about
how
afterwards.
bad it is.
Yeah.
But
So we always give a letterbox rating for what for our letterbox.
I have to log this on my letterbox. Fuck.
I would give this 1 star, not a half star, because I think it's funny enough that it deserves 1 star, but not higher than 1 star.
yeah, I couldn't go higher than 1 star either.
Randee?
Yeah, I'll give it 1 star.
Yeah. This is getting, I think, the lowest rating we've given so far, except for maybe...
Fail Secrets, maybe? Or did we give that 1? I can't remember.
I think we gave that 1. I think we gave In a Shallow Grave half a star because it was so fucking boring. Although it did have Twink Patrick Dempsey.
That was worth 2 right there.
Yeah.
No, I was mixing it up with that horror one. I don't even remember what it's called.
Oh, Bleeding Hearts.
Bleeding Hearts. Oh my god.
A movie that did star mostly porn stars. So.
Yes, that's where the trend started.
Yeah. And Screech from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Well, that is our episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Randee.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Sick. Thanks for having me.
You're never going to do this again, are you? Where can people find you if they want to find you on social medias?
I'm on all of them at Randee Noodle. 2 E's, 2 O's.
And where can people find your album?
Oh, on all the streaming platforms and on the Comedy Here Often website.
Mm-hmm. And you have
Bad Baby.
Bad Baby, and you have the second one coming out too, right?
Yeah, not for a little bit though.
This isn't going to come out for a bit, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bad Baby 2.
Yeah, Bad Baby 2 will come out too.
Awesome. If you guys like the podcast, you can follow us on social media at Absolutely Obscure Pod on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can also email us. Any comments, we'll read them out on the show. Haven't got any, so don't have any to read yet. You can email us at absoluteobscurepodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, you can follow us individually too at The True Rory or Real Funny Josh.
We'd like to thank handsomest producer in the game, Aaron Campbell, handsomest comedian in the game, and also Matt Prince for our theme music. And we end the episode the same way every single time, which is Randee gets to get sweet, sweet revenge on us by choosing the next movie that we will talk about. I will give you 3 titles. Based on title alone, you get to choose.
So you can either be nice or do what Amr did.
So your 3 titles to choose from are Hard Luck Love Song, Below Zero, or Psychophonia.
Psychophonia.
Yeah, I knew it. So Psychophonia came out in 2016. It has a 3.7 on IMDb with 341 votes, and 106 people have rated this on Letterboxd. And the description is: when a woman's husband is brutally murdered and castrated, she enlists the help of a paranormal expert to analyze strange phone calls from his phone, and her investigations lead her to a group of swingers that expose her husband's double life.
You know what? That sounds good.
It sounds better.
It does sound better.
It sounds like it definitely stars porn stars, so we can look forward to that.
Sounds like there's going to be a ghost dick involved somehow.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Listen, any movie where a man gets castrated, it's getting 5 stars from us. We can guarantee that. All right, you guys can check that out in our next episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.